might be why he's slowing down, refusing to pull over, but erratic behavior we haven't seen just yet.
Very slow driving now, but there you see the traffic in front of him. Perhaps considering pulling over. You would always hope in this circumstance, but you never know.
And a long line of LAPD vehicles behind him, so they are hoping this stays as safe as possible. And he just seems to be kind of slowly maneuvering from one lane to the next, but nothing specific to tell of right now.
Yeah, left the carpool lane, now on the far right side of the lane. I'm not sure what exits are coming up here, but this is a North Hollywood area right now. Let's see if we can get a locator.
I think we're
Victory
passing
Boulevard. Okay.
Victory, we just passed Burbank, so he might. Where is he? He seems to be staying locked in traffic. So this could be a process, though, that we're watching. We're not sure. He doesn't seem bent on getting away, but he's not pulling over.
Yeah, and strange, you see that window there on the passenger side, on the driver's side. I don't know, it looks like a boarded up kind of window or something that's hard to say what we're looking at.
That with the tinted windows makes it difficult to see inside. Yeah. We do know, obviously, there's the driver who is the one that they suspect could be armed. We don't know if there are other people within this. And this isn't something that revolves around something that just happened. We don't think. It might be somebody that they have been looking for, and now the pursuit is underway. Yeah,
and a complete stop right now. Was traveling about 50 miles an hour just a moment ago. Now getting back over in a faster lane and taking what's not very fast, though. Still very
just 20
slow.
miles an hour. He's staying with traffic and staying largely within his lane and not being very erratic. It's all started, let's see, in the Rampart.
Yeah, 101 at Cahuenga.
LAPD Rampart started on this, on the Cahuenga, yeah, near Hollywood.
Yeah, northbound on 101 Cahuenga, Hollywood, and now going through Burbank and traveling very slowly, and we're not sure what.
Up to 101.
And we haven't heard if there's one person in this vehicle or more than one. We haven't heard any information yet.
Trying to get a better idea of what's going on here. So he went up the 101 from Hollywood, then onto the 170, and that's where he joins us right now. As you can see, he's approaching Sherman Way exit, just past that. And hanging in the North Hollywood area. Yeah, and I'm
trying to remember, when you go to the 170, where it takes you eventually? Or the 118?
Potentially?
Yeah, no, I mean, where does this, I'm trying to remember the freeway system here. That's the 170, I don't travel on that one very often.
So he's trying to maneuver his way through the lanes, only going 9-10 miles per hour, so he's hit rush hour. So they're just going to be content on following him through the traffic. Okay, he's pulling over to the right-hand side. Other cars are pulling over as well, and he's just kind of blending in, but clearly it is the minivan right there that they're pursuing, a kind of a gold silver color.
Yeah, this would be one of those slower pursuits, not much he can do. And not
traffic. Not much we could say either, except for watching this guy meander through the freeway right now at 13, 14 miles per hour on the 170 again as he's coming up on the Sherman Way. I thought he passed it already, but the Sherman Way exit is what's coming up in North Hollywood.
And all we know about this suspect is that it's a shooting, responding to it. Wait, this is...
Right. Yeah, can you see in there? Is there another person?
It doesn't look like there's someone in the passenger seat.
A little bit of a shot there from, oh, there's something else. Is it a dog?
Jeez.
There's something there in the passenger side seat, if you look closely.
Right.
All right, we're going to push in right here and try to get an idea. There is something else in the vehicle. I think it's his dog.
Oh, dear.
Could be a little dog. See that little white near the middle of the windshield?
Yep. Oh, you're right. Going just going 10 miles an hour on the 170 freeway right now through North Hollywood.
All right. Well, he's not being violent or erratic, just staying within his lane. And
okay. I guess the desk is saying right now that that is a dog, David. Good eye.
Okay. Well, a small dog with him. We haven't seen any other humans, but we can't see the back seat either. So, and then whatever that is blocking the view, we're probably not going to see what's in the back of that van. Nevertheless, just to give you an idea, this is considered a very dangerous situation because this is a person who is believed to be some sort of a shooting suspect. We don't know what the incident was or when it happened or the result of that shooting, but they are saying that this could be an armed person in this van. So you could see the line of LAPD vehicles up behind them. They're going very slowly up the 170 freeway from North Hollywood now into Sun Valley, and they're just going to continue to follow him and see what happens.
Yeah, you can. I think there was a couple cars. They must hear all the sirens because you see a lot of the cars just pulling over to the side of the road, the shoulder of the road, to just let him pass by.
Lights and sirens, so they're probably all at least hearing them coming.
Yep.
Very slow pursuit going on right now, but that's simply because of the traffic. It is unusual. I don't remember the last time we've had a shooting suspect with a little dog in his
In a
car.
minivan.
In a minivan.
Right, exactly.
But the person is not pulling over, so something is up when it comes to this.
And there's just too much traffic in that area right now to do any type of pit maneuver. Just sort of have to follow him closely, and you see that patrol car there closing a little bit of that gap a bit.
Okay. We're getting a little bit more information from the scanners that they believe this may be a female suspect inside the vehicle with the dog.
You know, it seems like we have seen more and more of these pursuits with a female suspect. And I remember a time where it was majority was men in these in this.
This is all. Keep in mind, this is preliminary information, so we're just kind of gathering what we can when it comes to the suspect, and the fact that this person is not pulling over may be an indication of something. Maybe they know who this person is. We assume that they do, considering the information that we have right now.
Okay, so 170 and the exit to the 10 Roscoe Boulevard. Let's see, find out if he's going to stay on the 170 going north or exit to the 10.
That would be the next.
Okay.
That would be the next exit.
Yeah.
So moving towards the 5. This is all in Sun Valley. If you know this area, then you probably have been, and if you travel this area, then you probably have gotten stuck on the 170 before when it comes to the sticky traffic right now at 4:45 in the evening. But just pretty typical.
Yeah, especially like on a Thursday afternoon. It seems like Thursday afternoon traffic is often heavier than Fridays. I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, well, trying to get past this car and maneuver his way around this white vehicle.
All right, so we're still trying to gather more information. Hang on. All right. So a little bit more on the shooting, that it may have taken place in Echo Park. So somebody apparently was shot in Echo Park. That might have some connection to this suspect within this vehicle. And that's why this is an important pursuit, even though this person doesn't seem to be driving that crazy or erratically. They do believe that this person in this vehicle.
Oh, they are taking the exit right now. Let's see if we can get a locator on that.
Yeah, to finish the thought, this person is considered armed and dangerous. Even though
sorry, David.
It may be a woman in the car. That's what some early preliminary information is. There may be a dog in the car, which is what we were able to see. But let's see where this person goes.
Okay, exiting Roscoe Boulevard now. So they put them on some surface streets, apparently, Roscoe Boulevard.
We'll see. I think they can get right back on the 170 as well, or they can go eastbound on Roscoe. I'm sorry, westbound. Okay, so let's see what this person does. Yep, it's going to loop around, and we'll end up probably going westbound on Roscoe. Very slow so far. Let's see what they do.
Using
when it
their
comes
blinkers
to,
and abiding by the law, which is ironic. You know, you'd think you're in a pursuit.
There's the dog. All right, the dog's in the front seat. Let's hope this person just gives up.
I know.
That would help everybody.
Including us.
Right. All right, under the freeway now. 6 miles per hour.
Yeah, this is one of the slower pursuits that we've witnessed, you wonder what's going through their mind, just a little cruise.
We're trying to gather more information on the situation.
Let's see, we're hearing
okay.
Armed with a silver handgun, reportedly.
2 gunshot victims in Echo Park.
Oh, so they left behind 2 gunshot victims, okay, in Echo Park. So this is apparently related to that. This is the suspect.
So if this is true, then, and this is the person they believe it is, if this is that suspect that they believe, then this could be somebody who has just shot 2 people in Echo Park.
Yeah, and they think it's a female suspect and with a dog in the front seat.
So let's see what she does. Keep in mind, if this person does finally give up, it's going to be tricky. Hopefully she will abide by all the commands because they do believe that she could be armed. Okay, 16 miles per hour on Sheldon Street in Sun Valley. So this would be, perhaps if there's nobody else on the road, this could be a spot where they may attempt a pit maneuver, but this is a larger vehicle being a minivan, and this person also being armed and potentially dangerous who just shot 2 people. I'm not sure if that changes protocol.
Interesting. That adds another element to the...
Right. Plus, there is no barrier between the oncoming traffic as well.
Right.
Maybe that will restrict them. But as you could see, this person who's driving this vehicle is not opening it up like they could. It's only going 25 to 30 miles per hour, all by themselves on the road right now.
Right.
And let's see what police choose to do.
Right now they're going northbound on Sheldon from Roscoe Boulevard.
Okay. So if you're familiar with the area, they're going to be approaching Arleta. And there's a divider now. See the island there.
Yeah,
so
that's true, David.
Perhaps they'll be able to, if they're going to do a pit maneuver, maybe this was it, but perhaps that's not even on the table because of the potential for dangerous violent act here. Oh, the light is green, not running the red light.
Yeah, so far been, driving very safely and following some rules, but not turning it, not stopping and not pulling over.
Okay, barely making it under the overpass, still very slow, 15 miles per hour, turning into a really slow speed pursuit here. So this person might be trying to figure out what to do.
Right.
Maybe he or she is on the phone with somebody right now. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be sort of a panic situation, not knowing where to go next and what to do.
With the dog in the vehicle, a small dog at that, and the passenger seat.
And the patrol car right behind that minivan. And like you said, David, the tinted windows, it was really hard to see if we know that there is apparently a female suspect and a dog, but if there's anybody in the back seat, we don't really know for sure.
Look at this line of police vehicles right behind this driver on Sheldon Street. Oh,
okay.
Pulling over.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's see what they do. Okay. Be careful here. I mean, even though it was a slow speed pursuit,
right.
The potential for violence.
And we think 2 people were shot in Echo Park, so this person is capable of violence, obviously.
Let's see. Is the window down?
Sheldon and Cran.
Uh-oh, taking off again.
Oh.
All right,
Oh,
and looping
and
around.
turning around, though.
U-turning.
Oh.
There are, let's see what they do. They're
boy.
blocking her in. They're blocking the driver
dear.
in.
Okay.
Okay, and this driver is refusing to stop. Okay, there's a good shot inside the vehicle. There's the dog. Looks like some sort of a pug of some sort, maybe. So, we're giving you some headlines here. The driver may be armed. The suspect may be connected to a shooting in Echo Park. We do know there are 2 people that have been injured in that shooting, and there you could see
Stopping again. Okay.
There's the dog. Okay, so
This is on Sheldon Street in Sun Valley.
we could see a little bit of the driver's behavior now. This driver has stopped.
Okay, so now he's playing cat and mouse. And we do believe this is a female suspect, but twice have stopped and then taken off again.
Let's see what this driver does, because if he or she pulls around again, maybe a spike strip could be a possibility, but they usually need to see some sort of a common,
pattern.
Exactly. And for them to predict where this person is going to go. But so far, nothing that is predictable, although luckily she's driving pretty slowly and safely. even though she is stopping and starting.
So now going on Arleta Avenue. Ooh, they're going to get back on the freeway here?
Okay. 20 miles per hour. Not driving erratically, but we can't see in the back of that vehicle either. Look, there's another one of those, whatever that is in the back seat, where you just cannot see inside the vehicle.
Right, exactly. It's sort of almost like a
shade of some
shield
sort.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I guess they're trying to get some spike strips set ahead of her, but we'll find out if they're able to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely going slow enough where they can anticipate this car coming toward them.
If she continues on like that, maybe they can just drive ahead and do something like that. But
Stopping. Oh.
Stopping again.
Stopping again, it looks like.
It's interesting that they did attempt to block her in.
Yeah.
So, you know, because, okay, let's see what these.
Oh boy, let's, if they.
All right. The same scene we have seen before.
Okay, this is a Dodge Caravan, 2008 to 2020. Let's see, 20-gallon tank. Can't get too far.
It's really heavy too. It's 4,300 pounds, which might make a pit maneuver out of the question, because you don't want to pit a vehicle that's super, super heavy. I don't know where the cutoff is though. There's a dog. You can see the dog on the passenger side seat, and you could barely make out the driver. So the driver is staying at least on surface streets on Arleta Avenue right now, approaching Wentworth in Arleta, and looks like she's going to make some sort of a turn.
You can tell it's going to be dark soon, so that'll change the whole scene as well.
Okay, I guess basically on a center divider right now.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a left-hand turn lane. It's just some sort of now she's going into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, no traffic coming the other way, really. Oh, no, never mind. I think they've all gotten the heads up for the sirens.
She's trying to bypass that sticky spot in that intersection, and now she's going straight through.
But still going under 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Curious.
Largely, her driving has been relatively safe, even though she is refusing to give up. All right, so she's still on Arleta Avenue in Arleta, approaching Bracken Street. 30 miles per hour. There you can see kind of the construction on the side of the road. I'm not sure if they're able to get somebody ahead to do a spike strip. That would be.
Yep. Started a half hour ago at 101 at Cahuenga in Hollywood. They believe it's a reported shooting suspect. Two victims in Echo Park shot, and then this suspect, a female, in the driver's seat with a dog in the passenger seat, and just slowly trying to get away from officers, but not going very fast at all. Just doing a slow speed pursuit in this situation and wondering where she's going.
Very slowly. All right, so staying on Arleta Street, 25 miles per hour, basically. Let's see if he or she will choose to pull over again, going very slow. Okay, that's why. There's some traffic ahead. On the sidewalk? No, that is some sort of a car wash, just cutting through as she gets on, it looks like Osborne Street in Arleta. Now traveling down Osborne Street, 20 miles per hour. And just kind of meandering through the area. So keep in mind, this is a person, as almost comical as this seems, this is a person that is regarded as very dangerous, who may have just shot two people. And they believe that this is a female driver that is armed. So they're handling her very delicately. So far, no aggressive maneuvers by LAPD to get her to stop, either with a pit maneuver or some sort of a spike strip. But perhaps that opportunity will come in the coming minutes, considering how slow this person is driving.
All right, David Ono, thank you. And Ellen Leyva, thank you for your coverage of this pursuit happening right now in the Hollywood area. This is Giovanna Latta along with Mark Brown. We are starting Eyewitness News here at 5 and continuing our live coverage of this pursuit that is underway. As you've heard from David and Ellen, this suspect is considered armed and dangerous. They are a shooting suspect. We believe 2 people were shot.
2 people reportedly shot in Echo Park. And as we watch this person driving slowly and meandering, even using her blinkers, they believe it is a female. They believe it's a woman behind the wheel. The driving is sedate and, if anything, calm, but the crime for which she is accused is anything but. 2 people shot in Echo Park, and they believe this is the person who did it. And police in LAPD's Rampart Division are the ones who initiated this pursuit right around the Hollywood Freeway and Cahuenga. And the driver got on the 101, headed northbound, then got on the 170, continuing northbound. Now continuing on the 5 freeway. Got off the 170 for a little bit, driving around and then getting back on the 5 now at Terabella. This is the Pacoima area of Los Angeles, still within the LAPD's jurisdiction. We haven't seen any indication that the CHP has joined this.
Yeah, this is the LAPD Rampart Division following her, and it has been a very calm pursuit in terms of pursuits, right? However, when she did stop the vehicle, we watched her stop, and we saw several patrol cars approach her. We saw officers get out of their patrol cars and start to approach the minivan that she was in, and then she made a U-turn and came at those patrol officers and weaved through a couple of cars to get past them, and that is really the only significant activity that we have witnessed firsthand. But again, we do believe, we are told that she is armed and dangerous, so authorities are continuing to follow her. She is not driving erratically. She's not driving at high speeds. She's not weaving in and out of lanes.
Yeah, Chris Christie is overhead now in Air 7 to give us more on kind of what's ahead, what the traffic situation looks like, and more on this pursuit. Chris.
Yeah, it's a rush hour pursuit. Very light traffic up the 5 freeway now, approaching the 118 freeway. Serious crimes prompting a serious response and serious resources by CHP, who is pursuing this woman up the 5 freeway. I've counted at least 6 or 7 black and whites. There's also an LAPD helicopter circling this pursuit, calling out the location. There is also a major police presence at Echo Park where this crime, believed to be related to this pursuit, is taking place or has taken place. A possible shooting suspect behind the wheel of this minivan, a woman behind the wheel with a dog inside of the car. You can see there's a very dark tinted window in the middle there, but right there in the driver's seat, you could just barely make out the driver. We're going to try and get a better angle here once we come around the 118 freeway, and we'll see if we can get a better glimpse inside the front windshield there, but we do not know whether there is anybody else inside the car in terms of people, I should say. There is what it looks almost like a little pug who's on the center console there. Very composed driving. It's been relatively sedate, I think is the word you use, Mark. I would say that's very descriptive there, and that's very accurate. So, you know, not dangerous driving, but definitely a very serious criminal on the run here from law enforcement. Again, up the Cahuenga Pass onto the 170, kind of moving through Arleta, and then eventually finding her way back onto the freeway. But the northbound 5 freeway has much less traffic than she was encountering on the 170. I think she just hit a little bit of a traffic jam that kind of prompted that little exit off of the 170. She is encountering much less traffic on the 5 freeway, but as she comes up on the 5-405 split, that's going to change here in the next mile and a half. As she gets up towards the split and all the way up to the Newhall Pass, if she takes this in through San Fernando, she's going to be hitting the brakes here in just a minute. So we'll see if the driving changes here, if she chooses to get off of the freeway. Right now, they are not going to let this go. This is a very violent crime, apparently, that she is wanted for. Again, we believe, or have reason to believe, that this is indeed related to a shooting, a double shooting at that, in Echo Park, guys.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the backstory on what was involved in that shooting. 2 people shot, reportedly, in Echo Park. We don't know their conditions right now. We don't know what connection, if any, this driver had to that shooting or the people involved. But the driver taking off, a woman with a dog in the front seat. We don't know if there are any other people, as you mentioned, Chris, that would be in that van. And all we know is that this person's on the run and refusing to give up, but not driving at high speeds.
Not driving at high speeds.
That's right. And
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was just noticing, you know, some of the speeds that she's been traveling at, even on surface streets, really provided an opportunity for a pit maneuver. But if she's armed with a firearm, that will play into their decision making, and they will be much more conservative and less likely to use that pit maneuver tactic unless the watch commander decides that's the best course of option. But that is definitely a judgment call on the part of the supervisors and watch commanders at CHP. Right now, though, she is doing below freeway speeds on the freeway here, but still on the freeway it becomes a much dicier situation unless they have a solid traffic break, which they do behind her. There's nobody that's going to come up behind her. The problem, as you can see here, as she comes up on the split, is all of the cars in front of her. They are not any longer in a position where they would ever execute a pit maneuver. They're going to have to wait for a much more less trafficked either freeway, or if she gets off on a surface street, then maybe they might reevaluate. But with a gun, a possible firearm in the car, and especially if they don't know, they probably know more than we know, obviously, but depending on what they know about who else might be in the car, that kind of thing, that will all play into the decision making. So in the meantime, she's starting to slow down yet again as she encounters some of that slower rush hour traffic again. We're right at the 405 split in San Fernando, moving up towards the Newhall Pass where there are brake lights up ahead. So again, she'll have opportunities, at least one more opportunity to get off the freeway. She can get off at the 210 freeway as a matter of fact, but it does appear, at least for the time being, she's committed to those right lanes.
Yeah, and people at home might be wondering, you know, while this vehicle was off on the surface streets, why the LAPD didn't try the pit maneuver, why they didn't necessarily try a spike strip. Spike strip is one issue where you kind of have to know where they're going, and that was a little hard to predict. But the pit maneuver, there were certainly times, especially in a kind of an industrial area there in the Sun Valley area, where it could have happened. But when you factor in that firearm, that becomes an issue. And, you know, you don't want to be too aggressive with somebody who apparently has a weapon, who's reportedly has a weapon and may have used it already on 2 other people. If they get involved in an accident, bullets might start flying, and who knows who could be hit by those. They want these to end peacefully. They don't want this to end in violence, and so they are content at this point to just stay behind the driver and not let her get away.
And as we wait to confirm the details of the original scene of the alleged crime, again, we're hearing that she was armed, or is armed, with a silver handgun, allegedly, and also 2 gunshot victims, as we've been reporting, and all this happened in Echo Park. But as we wait to confirm the details of that and the relationship with this, between this driver and the possible victims, the alleged victims, what comes to mind to me is a domestic violence situation. We do not know, but she's driving very calmly. She has a small dog. She's now exiting on the 210.
Getting off on the 210. Getting off on the 210. And to your point, Giovanna, her state of mind is critical here. And since the crime that they are investigating is happening in real time, you have LAPD in Echo Park right now investigating that shooting, trying to gather more information, trying to get the facts, and then relay them to CHP. That information is vital for the units in the pursuit. It's also vital for the supervisor back at the division office who is making the calls and deciding what the best course of action is here. I can tell you that there is no appearance of letting this go. So that's one thing we can say for sure, and for obvious reasons. You have an potentially armed and dangerous driver on the run here now on a major freeway. She saw the rush hour traffic ahead of her on the 5 freeway, I think, and decided to get off on the 210. So she's now going southbound on the 210, which really is eastbound, as we make our way around the San Fernando Valley here, and eventually, if she stays on the 210, towards Latuna Canyon. But in the meantime, she is getting off. She's getting off the freeway, and now we'll be on surface streets where they will have more decisions to make here in Sylmar.
It ups the ante. Every time she gets on surface streets, that changes things. There could be cross traffic. There could be a collision. There could be somebody crossing the street, a pedestrian. There are all sorts of other elements that you introduce once they get off the freeway and everybody's going in the same direction versus onto a surface street like this where there's cross traffic and pedestrians involved as well. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think these are all LAPD units. Is that correct?
These are CHP. There's a combination of CHP and
She is stopping.
LAPD officers here. Now pulling over, and has come to a complete stop at Yarnell Street. And it looks like they are prepared to execute a felony stop here. The dog in the passenger seat, the driver with her arms on the steering wheel, hands and arms on the steering wheel, moving again.
Yep. She had
Picking
lowered
up
the
again.
window
You can
for a
see all of
second.
the officers getting back in their cars. Rob, can you just confirm? Those are LAPD officers, as a matter of fact. Those are LAPD
Right.
officers. These are LAPD
Yes,
officers
yes.
from I think it happened in Central's
Rampart.
division.
Rampart.
It was Rampart
now
division.
Rampart units. Yeah, Rampart. Yeah, those are the Rampart units right there. At least that primary unit is from Rampart. And now it looks, is she getting back on, Rob? Is that getting back on the freeway? Getting back on the 210 West. So now heading back towards the 5 freeway. She's done a reverse course here on the 210 freeway, now heading back towards the 5 freeway. We'll see what she decides to do here, but she was not willing to give it up there. And LAPD obviously putting a lot of pressure on here. You counted the mark, close to a dozen black and whites. You know, a typical pursuit, maybe 3 or 4. That's about normal. Once you see more than that, especially 10 or 12, you know it's a whole different ball game. In fact, many times they will intentionally limit the number of pursuits in the pursuit for safety's sake. And right now, they are dedicating a lot of resources. There is no, the safety is not a concern at these speeds, obviously very manageable speeds. But those officers in the pursuit have a number of different things that each officer can be doing, including creating traffic breaks in front. If there's an opportunity to set up a spike strip ahead, which you're not going to see on the freeway, especially a busy freeway on a Thursday afternoon. But everybody's got a job here, and once they come to a stop and execute that felony stop, that's when everybody kicks into action and takes up position behind that vehicle. So right now you can see traffic slowing down there on the 5 freeway as she now merges onto the Golden State Park freeway.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll see patrol cars pull back when the driver of a pursuit is driving erratically and at high speeds and weaving in and out of traffic. Sometimes they will pull back for the safety of the community, of the other motorists on the road. They're not doing that now because, again, she is driving in a measured manner. But it's likely it has something to do with the crime, the initial reported crime of 2 people being shot, and they may have other information about this driver that we don't know. They could be in contact with this driver. Family members may be in contact with the driver. They may just want to, keep this strategy of a slow and go.
Slow and go.
Yeah.
I am wondering, like I'm sure many of you are at home, about the condition of the people who were shot in Echo Park and what the circumstances were around that shooting. Was it a home, a business, some public area, private area? Where it happened, what happened? And our assignment desk is working diligently right now trying to get those answers from the LA Police Department to see what exactly happened there. That would be the Rampart Division where it happened. So, in fact, if you look to the right here, that apparently is the crime scene there. So it looks like it was in a park, and you see the yellow tape there, indicative of a pretty big crime.
Yeah. Perimeter that they're investigating.
Right. So we're going to try to. Okay, and traffic still going by, but that's apparently where it happened. No bodies that are there that are visible, so that would indicate that whoever was there has been transported, taken to the hospital. But the investigation is underway. There would be evidence left behind, and the officers are going to go over that. Detectives will pore over that and try to get more information about this. But yeah, that's the scene where it happened. That is quite a distance away from where we find ourselves now, which is on the 5 freeway in Granada Hills, still in the city of Los Angeles, but going farther and farther north and getting deeper and deeper into typical LA rush hour traffic, followed by as many as 11, perhaps more, LA Police Department units. It is interesting that the CHP has not joined this pursuit, to my knowledge, that we can see, and that the LAPD is the lead agency and so far the only agency. It is within the the city of Los Angeles, but also, of course, on the freeways, which would make it the Highway Patrol's bailiwick. So we will see if any sort of transfer happens or whether they are content to continue things as they are.
Yeah. Again, still on the I-5 northbound, in the Newhall area now. Chris, are you still there with us?
Yeah, so she had the opportunity, I'm sorry, we were just listening to the radio traffic. She had the opportunity to get onto the 14 freeway. We are now in the Santa Clarita Valley, but she is now committed to the 5 freeway. So she's bypassed the 14 split. She is on the 5 freeway. The sun is beginning to set here, so they're going to be relying pretty soon here in a few more minutes. They will be relying on that night sun that you occasionally see rolling through the shot there, compliments of that LAPD airship. Again, this is indeed an LAPD pursuit, CHP monitoring, but right now LAPD has their suspect in sight. This is a real-time crime that they are investigating, and this is a suspect who is on the run from Echo Park. So all of those factors are playing into this, and they are trying to put it all together and figure out what the best steps are here. Do they get it? Do they have the woman's cell phone? Are they able to get a crisis negotiator on the line with her potentially? What is her state of mind? Is she under the influence? Stuff like that. Perhaps even a domestic violence situation, if they can confirm that, like you mentioned, Giovanna, that will give them more clues into how to deal with this and how to talk some sense into this person if they can get a hold of her. But obviously, she is not in her right frame of mind right now. She is fleeing from a dozen LAPD officers in the Santa Clarita Valley now. We have now left LAPD's jurisdiction, mind you. We are now in LA County's jurisdiction on the 5 freeway, which is the jurisdiction of the California Highway Patrol. Not a problem. LAPD will stay on this if they choose to. There are plenty of resources, though, available to assist. There is mutual aid from the county, and there are CHP units all up and down the state along the 5 freeway ready to get involved in the event that local law enforcement needs their help. So right now, LAPD has plenty of resources and plenty of motivation to get this person off the road. I think we're going to see this to the bitter end. This is not a suspect that's going to get very far. They will take this all the way until she runs out of gas, quite frankly.
All right. Well, we are going to watch this along with all of you. We don't know if a spike strip has been employed or might be employed, but if there is, and it was done successfully, the evidence of that will be pretty apparent and fairly soon. So we're just watching this.
Looking to see if her tires appear to be impacted by a possible spike strip. I'm not seeing anything right now, but I am noticing that traffic is pretty light. It's moving, which makes it safer.
Yeah, makes it safer. I mean, if there are fewer people around, as we watch this, you know, with a spike strip, of course, the deflation of the tires would not be immediate. We're getting word now from the Highway Patrol that they in fact did employ a spike strip, and she did in fact hit it. So
okay, take a look there. Take a look at that front left. That front left tire.
Now we can
there
see
is something dangling behind on the backside of the fender. And that wheel, while the vehicle appears to be driving nominally, that front left tire it looks interesting. I think that it would have deflated by now if it was a clean hit. It probably would have deflated. In fact, what I saw dangling, is it still? Yeah,
I think it's part of the body.
Either looks like a piece of molding from that front fender that's kind of dangling there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess if they did make contact with it, you would imagine, if it was a good spike, you would start to see those tires deflate by now, and you would see the behavior of the vehicle change a little bit, but I'm not seeing it. And, you know, it could be, if she is low on air, I mean, it could be why she is traveling at these relatively tame speeds. She's not going fast, but she's not going slow either, doing about mid-50s, 50, 55 miles per hour. Again, by now you would expect to see those tires going flat.
Right. It's a gradual process. What they don't want to do when they use a spike strip, it's designed this way, as you know, Chris, to not cause a blowout, but to cause a gradual deflation of the tires. A blowout is dangerous, tire deflation much less so. And the idea is to make the vehicle much, much harder to drive, much, much harder to maneuver, and then the driver eventually gives up. We've seen it literally dozens of times.
The spikes on that strip are literally little tubes that are injected through the tire and the inner tire, and eventually just allow the air to slowly deflate. So it's a gradual process, as you're talking about, Mark, and one that usually would have happened by now, although I don't know where they executed that spike strip. It must have been before we picked it up. But I don't know. I haven't seen any sign of a spike strip on the freeway, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it must have happened maybe when she got off the 170, perhaps. I don't know.
That spotlight we saw just a moment ago, is that a helicopter? Is that a law enforcement helicopter?
That is LAPD.
Yeah.
It was right overhead. It's actually fallen back a little bit. You can see that night sun towards the tail end of the pursuit. He's probably... there he goes. He's
we can see
aiming it right back on her.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes, and that could change as the sun goes down and they need that night sun more, but sometimes, you know, the night sun can agitate the driver. It's a very helpful tool for obviously to help law enforcement maintain a visual. It's also helpful in letting other motorists know that there is police activity, as if the lights and sirens weren't enough. They definitely know once there's a big shiny night sun on them that something's coming up behind them.
Right.
In this case, you can see as it gets darker, they're looking to keep that night sun on her. It is a tricky thing. People think it's easy to point that light. It is not easy. It takes a lot of practice. These guys are experts. They do it every single night. But CHP is now apparently getting ready to get involved in this pursuit. So apparently, LAPD, in all likelihood, I cannot confirm this, but in all likelihood, if they're getting ready to pick it up, that means LAPD has asked for assistance and is able to hand this off to let the state troopers do their job and bringing this to an end.
And Chris,
it is their jurisdiction. LAPD could stay on it, or they could bring all those resources back to the city. Right now, you've got a dozen officers from Rampart that are now well outside of the city and might be very well needed back in the city. So right now, it sounds like California Highway Patrol is preparing to take this pursuit over, or at least get involved in some way.
and when you guys pulled back, Chris, and we could see the wider view of the freeway, it does appear that they're trying to control traffic and how close the other vehicles are approaching the suspect vehicle, because they're keeping the cars behind these patrol cars.
They are. You're watching the handoff take place as we speak. There comes CHP. That is the new primary unit in this pursuit. And now LAPD will back off. CHP with 2 units at least in position there. You've got the Challenger, you've got the Interceptor SUV, and others making their way over here. And LAPD, as I mentioned, will eventually head back towards the city. Usually they'll keep at least one black and white in the pursuit just to kind of trail behind and eventually make the arrest and bring the suspect back to the city of LA. But you can see California Highway Patrol has now officially taken over the pursuit, and we basically have a brand new pursuit. I say that because the policies change. Once CHP takes it over from a local jurisdiction, you have a whole new set of decisions, a set of decision makers by the supervisors, the watch commanders. A whole new team is now dedicated to bringing this pursuit to a peaceful resolution. LAPD backing out, California Highway Patrol taking over with a whole new handbook, if you will, guys.
And again, for those of you just joining us, this is a pursuit of a shooting suspect. 2 people reported who have been shot in the Rampart area of Los Angeles in Echo Park. Started a little before 4:30 this afternoon. 2 people shot. We don't know their conditions, but they have been transported. They are not still at the scene, so it appears they were at least taken to the hospital. Don't know how they're doing or if they are still with us. There's reported to be a woman behind the wheel of this vehicle armed with a silver handgun. A silver handgun, and one of the stranger things about this, Giovanna, is that she's got a dog.
She has a white dog with, I believe, a seatbelt on it. I thought that's what I saw. It's hard to know for sure, but again, we've been following this Dodge Caravan for almost an hour now. Again, this started around 4:25. And the woman has been driving relatively, in a measured manner. She hasn't been speedy. She hasn't been driving erratically. She hasn't been weaving in and out of lanes as we've seen some other pursuit suspects do. But this is still a dangerous pursuit. A pursuit is dangerous no matter what the circumstances. Several patrol cars have been following her. Other cars are in jeopardy. She's been on the freeways, on local side streets as well. And because this is a serious crime that they suspect her of being involved with, they don't appear to be backing off.
No, they're not going to back off. With a crime this serious, 2 victims who've been taken to the hospital, report of a shooting suspect who may still, in fact, be armed. That's the report they have. Clearly, somebody got a look at this vehicle as it was leaving the crime scene, and that is what alerted the police to begin this pursuit. And, you know, the LAPD now handing it off to the Highway Patrol. And if you're watching at home and you want to keep track of which agency is which, somebody schooled me on this a long time ago. The Highway Patrol vehicles, although they are black and white like LAPD vehicles, LAPD has 2 white doors. The front and the rear door are white. CHP, just the front door is white. So that's a quick way to spot it from the air to determine which agency is involved in the pursuit.
Noted. Thank you, Mark. Well, now we know. But yes, and Chris confirmed that the CHP made the transfer from the LAPD, taking over this pursuit now, and they are driving through Valencia on their way north, and you just wonder how far north this driver will continue.
Yeah, and you know, a spike strip was employed about, I'd say, about 7 or 8 minutes ago. She did reportedly hit a spike strip. It appears that spike strip has had no effect because the tires are not flat. We can only see one side of the vehicle. Well, maybe, I don't know, that left front, but it's hard to tell. I think if it was flat, it would be maybe smoking. There'd be some disintegration.
At least
there'd be
a little bit of a wobble
chunking off of it now. But you know, Chris, you're closer to it. You might be able to tell us with more accuracy what you're seeing in terms of the tires.
Yeah, I was suspicious of that front left tire as well, but you would expect to see a little more of a wobble in the vehicle. The driving, the behavior of the vehicle would change, and you would see it. It would be evident, especially, you know, she's, again, doing about 55 miles per hour. Now, what you just saw there was a CHP unit speed right by her. That is a clue that perhaps, maybe, if they have an opportunity up ahead, perhaps they will give it another try and attempt another spike strip. Now, right now, most of the units are right behind her. What is probably, I'm trying to think back, you know, we saw her pull over now a couple of times. She was kind of stopping and going at times even off the freeway when she got off the freeway, almost as if she was thinking about giving up, and then she didn't give up and she kept on going. But, you know, once it's in her head that she's on borrowed time, and she didn't appear to be in great shape. She was it was a larger individual behind the wheel that was probably less likely to foot bail and go running for it. You know, she's on borrowed time here, and so she's going to realize that in not too short order. In fact, as we get up towards Castaic now, we're actually starting to get away from the Santa Clarita Valley, and that will provide CHP even more room on the freeway to get fancy if they want to try a spike strip, or if she slows down enough, even potentially a pit maneuver if they feel that would be a good move in this situation. In any event, whatever happened with that original spike strip does not appear to have had the desired effect.
Right, and if she continues, she will drive north into the Grapevine and down into Bakersfield, and hopefully we hope that it ends before she gets to either one of those areas. And we know this is a Dodge Caravan, and we were given some information that it has a 20-gallon tank, so maybe gas will become a factor at some point.
Yeah, and so will daylight. We still have a little bit of dusk left here, which is going to allow us and the helicopter down there to follow her another couple of miles, a few more miles past Castaic Lake. At some point in the next few minutes, it's going to be pitch black. It's going to be pitch black. The freeway is going to narrow a bit, and it'll be a different ball game. She may lose some of the helicopters. They will, LAPD's got the night vision, so they will keep going, but we probably will have to be shooting it from afar until we lose sight of her. But she is definitely leaving the metro Los Angeles area. She is now exiting Santa Clarita Valley, and now basically heading up towards the Grapevine, where she has limited opportunities to exit the freeway, and she does appear to be pretty committed to the northbound 5 freeway.
Well, and from what I've been able to look up in terms, you just brought it up, how much, how far this pursuit may go. This thing can get 25 miles per gallon highway, and it's been mostly highway miles and at a fairly low speed. So they may be getting all of that 25 miles per gallon. So then the question is that is unknowable to all of us, everybody but the driver, how much gas was in it to begin with.
That's right. We don't know. And we don't know if this is her vehicle or, belonged to someone else. A lot of details that we do not know. We are working on gathering more details about the situation that prompted all of this in Echo Park, that double shooting. Still working to get some information on the conditions of the victims in that initial crime.
There's a spike strip. There's a spike strip, and did it miss? It might have been. Yeah, she drove around it.
She drove around it.
So there was a clear spike strip attempt there. We saw that unit speed by her just a few minutes ago, and sure enough, he was able to set up for a spike strip. This empty section of the freeway provided a perfect opportunity. However, I think she saw it at the very last second. He laid it down. It was a little dark there. You guys might be able to replay it, but I think she went right around it. She used the shoulder to get around it and then got right back around. She is maintaining about 55 miles per hour. I almost wonder if she's got this car on cruise control because the variance of speed. There's another one. That one might have hit.
Yep.
That one might have hit. That one I think did hit. We're going to see this, at least that front left tire, I think, made contact with the spike strip. Now, whether it was effective enough to inject that tube we were talking about, which is the actual spike itself, if that spike made its way into that tire, you're going to see this pursuit come to a gradual end here in the next mile or so. So we'll be watching out for that. Reports from the ground are that it was a good spike. So if they feel they've got a good spike, there come the sparks, and this vehicle is going to start slowing down. That is probably the spike. The actual spike itself is grinding that pavement, creating those sparks, and now she is pulling over to the right. Just a moment before she hit that spike strip, she had signaled to get over to the left, and now she is showing signs of potentially giving up here. That vehicle is now slowing down, the tires slowly deflating, and this hopefully will end with a peaceful resolution. But obviously there are so many ways this could end. We just don't want to speculate yet, but obviously I think we're getting close to the end of this pursuit.
Yeah, and the CHP officers have to be just so careful in this situation if she does eventually stop, because they understand that she is armed with a handgun, and if the reports are accurate, she has used that handgun today to injure 2 other people. So they do not know her mindset, and it's very dark. This is a tough one.
Yeah, it really
right
does
off the
appear
bat.
like. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, right off the bat, they know they're dealing with an attempted murder suspect, and when somebody, a criminal of that nature, a violent criminal, is wanted for that crime, that those officers have to take extra caution. I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to see if we can get a read on the tires. Now it looks like the night sun has been kind of removed from it. I don't know if if
that
that's
front
a
tire's
tactical.
flat.
Yeah, the front tire's flat, and that's just on the driver's side. We don't know about the passenger side, what the situation is there. It's hard to see.
I think that rear tire looks suspicious too, but at least that front tire is on borrowed time now. So the thing about these speeds, though, the vehicle will become much more difficult to steer. But if you drive slow, you could continue a slow speed pursuit on flat tires for a little while. It's an older model vehicle, but they still are able to, move on a flat tire. If she went faster, that's when it would give her a real problem, right? The tires would start shredding much faster, then you'd run onto the rims, and then it would be a whole different ballgame if she tried to speed away. But right now, I don't sense that intention from her. She obviously is having some regrets in life right now, but I don't think she's showing signs of I think she knows that the end is near. Let's put it that way. I think she is just buying her time, enjoying her final few minutes. She doesn't want to go to jail, but I think she knows that it's almost over here, and obviously we know it's almost over because the number of officers involved in this pursuit are indicative of just how serious they are about taking her into custody for obviously very serious crimes.
In terms of danger to other motorists, this is kind of the best case scenario because I'm assuming that they have probably stopped traffic northbound on the 5 freeway. These are only northbound lanes that we're looking at. This is a section where the northbound lanes and the southbound lanes are separated. And so they really have that stretch of the freeway to themselves, and they can at least minimize any danger to other motorists.
Yeah, other motorists, now that she's slowing down, are not an issue anymore, right? They've created the traffic break behind her. There may even be somebody ahead that we haven't seen. But that front tire might already be shredding. It looks like the treads are starting to come off here. We're going to see that tire spin off of the front of that vehicle here in just a second. And then she, sure enough, will be riding on the rims. And that's to say nothing of the front right wheel, which we have not gotten a good glimpse of yet. It may very well be behaving similarly. So that front left tire is starting to shred. It'll come off here in a second, and she'll be going even slower than she is now. And it couldn't happen a second too soon because they don't want to take this too far, away from the Santa Clarita Valley into the darkness. I mean, it really is pitch black up there. And if she does decide to get away, it's tricky terrain up here. It's rolling terrain up here, and then it gets a little steeper the further north she gets. But I think in this case, in all likelihood, that vehicle will be coming to a stop any minute. And I would expect within a matter of minutes that vehicle will be stopped.
And as far as the drivability of this vehicle is concerned, it's front-wheel drive. Front engine, front-wheel drive. If both front tires are flat and starting to shred, that rim might end up just spinning on the ground. It's going to be a lot harder to try to accelerate or move once the speed gets too slow. And clearly, obviously, the driver's side front tire completely gone and starting to come off.
Yep, starting to come off. Also, keep in mind, she's now on an incline. She is moving uphill on the 5 freeway, and that's going to slow her down even more, especially at these speeds with no traction left on that front right. And again, can only imagine the front right. I'm sorry, the front. That's the front left. You can only imagine the front right. If it was hit too, then both wheels might be coming to a complete stop here. And sure enough, it does look like this minivan has indeed come to a halt.
All right, we're going to watch now because this is the part that gets hazardous for everyone, for everybody involved. Because the belief and assumption, the report is that she is armed with a silver handgun. The report is that she has already shot 2 people, shot and wounded, perhaps even killed 2 people. We don't know the conditions of the people who were hit by gunfire in Echo Park. And so the police, the CHP officers, and we presume the LAPD is kind of bringing up the rear and will also be involved in this, are going to have to move with extreme caution to remove her from this vehicle. What they basically have here is a barricade situation.
Standoff.
Yeah, involving a vehicle out on the open road. There's no cover between the officers and the vehicle. She's going to see him walking up a mile away, and with the rearview mirror. So it presents some tactical issues. Now they train for this, obviously. So there are some ways that they are countering whatever tactical disadvantages they may have, but they've got to proceed with extreme caution. And you can assume, right, Giovanna, that they're going to be broadcasting or trying to contact her via loudspeaker.
She just threw something out.
That's right.
Oh, she threw something out?
Oh, maybe that is the weapon?
It could be the keys. It could be a cigarette. It might have been a cigarette. I'm not sure. That little white dot you see there next to the door, she just threw that out the window. You described the caution they're taking, Mark. I think it's notable that they have come to a pause. All 5 of those leading units have come to a pause a pretty safe distance back. I think it's fair to say we normally see them pull up a little bit closer in a situation like this. But again, because she's armed, they're a good 100, what do we say, about 170 feet back from the vehicle. That is not typical in a pursuit like this. That is indicative of somebody they believe to be very armed and dangerous. And that's exactly what we are, speculating about based on the crimes and the nature of the crimes that were committed here. Now you can see there's a cell phone in her hand. She is now on her phone.
Yeah, we can see the movement.
and obviously not complying. They are issuing instructions. She knows that they want her out of the vehicle. They want her to open that door and put her hands up.
Okay,
There was a hint of a left hand there.
Windows
but,
down, too.
She's not complying either way.
I wonder if she is on the phone with you always wonder, on the phone with a family member, someone's talking her down. We just don't know. Maybe she's on the phone with authorities. Maybe there's a negotiation underway. Now we see, is that her hand outside the window? Was that her arm?
I think she might have peeked out
There-
with her head. There's her
yes.
left hand, and she's spreading her fingers, so it might show signs of.
She's opening the
here
door.
she goes. Looks like she's willing to give up here. She was showing her hand up, and she closes it. So
Here we go
some,
again.
I would say, fairly erratic behavior here. She's not really.
Maybe
a little
she's-
indecisive, I guess you'd say. She tries to.
Maybe she's trying to figure
show
out the
signs
dog.
of
She's got the
surrender,
dog.
but
She wants to bring the dog
She's
with her.
clearly concerned about
Yeah.
the dog. Yeah, they're going to want her to put that dog down. That's going to be a priority.
That looks like a
for
puppy.
those officers. Yeah, it's a puppy.
Yeah.
She's obviously attached to the animal. Definitely,
Oh, is she?
you can understand that. But it is a problem that CHP now has to navigate because they need her to put that animal down and show her hands.
Well, at least if she's holding the puppy, she can't hold a gun at the same time, one hopes. If she's got
Right.
both hands on the dog, they at least know where her hands are. She is
Okay, at least
speaking
the
with them,
left hand
gesturing
is
toward them.
empty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, they're telling her to put the puppy dog, show her hands.
She's communicating. That's a positive sign. You can see her mouth moving. She is yelling back at the officers, and now getting back in the vehicle. I thought she was going to put the dog in the vehicle. Unfortunately, the situation, I know it seems like a minor thing, but the fact that she gets out of the vehicle with the dog and now has completely retreated back inside the vehicle, it really tells them a lot. It tells them this could be a prolonged effort than they were, more prolonged than they were planning. Let's put it that way. And at some point, they will start making some decisions because now what they have is a bona fide standoff. Once again, the driver's side door popping open, the dog in the vehicle, and she clearly knows that it's over, so she's showing signs of surrender. She just doesn't. She's probably mostly concerned about the dog, is my guess.
And
But,
yeah, we've seen that
you can see
before.
now, both hands up in the air. We have seen this before, and it always provides a unique set of circumstances because the most unpredictable character in all of this is the animal itself, especially as she shows signs of giving up here. It would be, that dog is obviously in the vehicle now, but if he gets spooked, he could, jump out and run away, and that could agitate her.
Yeah, we don't want that either. So, yeah, we've seen this a number of times when people get into pursuits with the dogs with them, and their immediate concern almost always is for the dog. And
She's frustrated.
Okay,
yeah,
this
she's
is
getting back in.
This is it's not working out for authorities as they would like, and for any of us really, this is not a good situation. But again, authorities believe she's responsible for a shooting and having shot 2 people. So her mindset is not probably
She's
in the
clearly
best.
willing. She's willing to give up here. It's the
best
dog
state.
that's the X factor here.
Yes.
Right.
So again, she's out of the vehicle. Can't really make up her mind on how to protect the dog and surrender at the same time. So she's stepping away from the vehicle. They're urging her to follow their instructions. She's stepping further away from the vehicle. She's now in front of the vehicle, stepping away from the officers and away from the animal. Now, we're going to look at that dog. Keep an eye on the dog. The dog is safely inside the vehicle right now. She is showing her hands and arms. She's yelling. Again, she's 170 feet away from those officers. So communication is a challenge here, and you have all the helicopters overhead as well. So it is, I guarantee you, it's a problem for them to be able to communicate here because you've got that LAPD helicopter right overhead. You have a bunch of other news ships overhead, and then you've got the distance between them.
Yeah, they probably can't hear each other at this point or understand each other. Yeah, you can see her talking to them. What's good here is you don't see any indication of further violence on her part or any violence. The gun is not evident. The weapon, which was reported to be with her, is not on her that we can tell at the moment. At least it's not in her hands. It could be in her waistband.
And she's approaching the officers.
Except she's doing it the wrong way. I'm sure they're
Right.
telling her they want her to turn around because they want you to back up toward them.
And
Correct.
I'm surprised they haven't asked her to get on the ground and lie face down.
They may have. We just don't know if she's compliant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would be one or the other. Either proned out or walk backwards towards them, where they then they would have her proned out closer to the arresting officers. If they keep her, if she is getting closer, but if she doesn't come all the way, they'll have to put that arrest team together, which is usually 3 or 4 officers collectively, and then they'll approach her gingerly, especially as long as she's showing her hands.
They're telling her what to do, and she's
trying. She's giving it an effort. Again, you have to keep in mind too, we do not know, her state of mind. Is she inebriated in any way whatsoever? Is there any other mental health issues or language barriers? You just never know, what they're dealing with down there, and sometimes they have to give her a certain amount of mercy as long as she's showing her hands. As long as she's showing her hands, and there's no threat. They can exhibit extreme patience with her as long as they see the palms of her hands.
Well, time is on their side. They have time. There is really no need to rush in a situation that could turn dangerous at any moment. So it's best that they take their time and have the patience and give her a minute to comply.
What it looks like is she just doesn't want to get on the ground.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to be on the ground.
Okay,
So
she's turning around,
she's giving
hands
up.
behind her back, giving up peacefully, and now they have to treat that minivan very gingerly as well until they give the code 4 and clear the vehicle. They have to work under the assumption that that vehicle is not empty until they know it is for sure. We know there's a dog inside the vehicle, but there could be any number of surprises inside of that minivan, and so they're going to approach very carefully here and shine a light into those windows. They've got their guns trained, a full team of officers here, 6 in total, approaching this Dodge Caravan, and they are able to get a better glimpse now inside the vehicle. They will eventually pop open that back door, but they can see now with the flashlights that it appears that the vehicle is empty. They take the, there you see the code 4. That officer with the 4 fingers up. Everybody knows this is now a peaceful resolution to what could have been a very dangerous chase. Fortunately, all's well that ends well here in Castaic.
Well, what about the dog? They've still got to get the dog out of there.
Still got to get the dog. Animal control will be called eventually, but the dog, as far as we know, the dog is still in the vehicle. Although we did lose sight of the vehicle at one point when they were arresting her, and now I don't see any movement inside. So we don't know if that dog did jump out of the vehicle. I don't see any sign of the dog, but I'm sure we will get a report from the ground here in just a minute.
I was surprised the dog didn't run out of the car.
Right, and didn't run toward her. So
maybe it wasn't a restraint. She put him in a restraint. We don't know.
Possible. All right. So are we moving on at this point? I think we are. So we will try to find out more about both the shooting, which began all this, and about the condition of the dog, because I'm sure a lot of folks at home want to know about that. In the meantime, though, we're going to move on to our other breaking news story, of course. That's the mountain fire in Ventura County.
In about 15 minutes, fire officials are expected to give an update on the wildfire. And just coming into our newsroom within the last few minutes, Governor Gavin Newsom has proclaimed a state of emergency in Ventura County. So far, it has burned more than 20,000 acres. This is the mountain fire. At last report, there was zero containment. Thousands of people are under evacuation orders from Camarillo across the 118 toward Somis and Santa Paula. Dozens of homes have burned. We're still waiting for an exact number from fire officials. No word yet on how.
And as we stand by for that very important update from firefighters at the